Hey, what's going on everyone? I'm Joseph Lombard, aka N2SC4R, and welcome to another episode of the N2SC4R's NASCAR Sprint Cup Race Review. Today I will be discussing the 2016 Duck Commander 500 from Texas Motor Speedway. And first off, I just want to say congratulations to Kyle Busch and the whole 18 team on getting back-to-back victories in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series and their fourth straight NASCAR win. Kyle Busch swept the weekend at Martinsville last week, and he did it again this weekend at Texas Motor Speedway. So Kyle Busch, 4 straight NASCAR wins, 2 Sprint Cup wins, 1 Xfinity and 1 Truck Series win in the last 8 days. And so a good job for him. Kyle Busch, 2nd win of the season. And he beat Dale Earnhardt Jr., Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, and I forgot who finished 5th. But anyway, whatever. So let's just get down to the race and stuff. So first night race of the season, first Saturday night race of the season, Texas Motor Speedway. Got a little bit delayed at the start for about 2 hours because of the rain they had there. But once they finally got underway, the racing is on. So Carl Edwards on the pole, and Carl Edwards was strong early on. It seemed like Edwards had the strongest car on the short runs, and then once the long run came through, Martin Truex Jr. My goodness, Martin Truex Jr. was just fast. I mean, he was really fast. He caught Edwards finally after, 55 laps and stuff, and got by Edwards for the race lead. But the 2 strongest cars in that race was Martin Truex Jr. and Carl Edwards. I mean, they were just on rails, especially Truex. I mean, he was just flying. I mean, you saw him have an 8-second lead to a 10-second lead. I mean, that car was flying. And if there was going to be something that's going to make Truex lose this race, it's going to be upsetting because Truex has came close a few times. This was another example this weekend. But, just the way it goes. But another thing about the Texas race, though, it was kind of boring. There wasn't a lot of cautions in the first half of the race, and a lot of the cautions were debris cautions. I mean, there wasn't really any wrecks except a couple of them. One of them when Josh Wise cut the tire and went right into the wall. And then half the big one down the back straightaway involving Austin Dillon, which poor Austin Dillon, he was having a great run. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. got involved in it. He was having a top 10 run. Ryan Newman got involved. Brian Scott, I know, got involved. Brian Vickers got involved. Michael Annett got involved. I mean, a few drivers got involved, but Austin Dillon and Ricky Stenhouse got a feel for them because they were having a great run, at least a top 10 finish for both of them in this race at Texas, and got wrecked. Apparently, I'm not sure if Denny Hamlin touched Austin Dillon or not, or it was just the air off his car, but it was very close. That got Austin Dillon sideways. But, yeah. I mean, Jimmy Johnson almost got involved in it as well. I mean, that was... He kept it going. He saved it and stuff like that. But, I mean, the 2 strongest cars were Edwards and Truex. Edwards was having a great run until one of their pit stops. They had to... Well, after a restart, they felt the vibration in the car, and then all of a sudden they had one of the tires go down. They had to come down pit road and change the tires, and it was indeed a flat tire. They ended up going 2 laps down. So Edwards, who was having a strong car, strong race, problems for him. Just unfortunate for him. And then Truex and his crew, I would say, probably should have pitted one more time in one of the cautions. I mean, there was precautions in the final 50 laps of the race. There was a lot of cautions. Probably Truex and the crew should have pitted on one of those cautions. Let's just say the final restart because, there were 3 or 4 more cautions with like 50 laps to go, and then from then on. I want Truex to win so bad, but there's always something that keeps them from winning races and stuff. I mean, they could have won a few more already. Apparently, they stayed out the whole time. Everyone else behind them came down pit road. And then on the restart, the final restart, Truex is on the inside, Kyle Busch on the outside lane. Kyle Busch got by him, going down the back straightaway. And Truex leading about half the race, half the strongest car that was going to win the race falls back. Why? Because everyone was on 4 new fresher tires, while Truex had no fresh tires. Why in the world would you do that at Texas Motor Speedway? So instead of Truex, who could have won Saturday night's race at Texas Motor Speedway, ends up finishing 6th, because he fell back. It was kind of frustrating to me because I want Truex to win that race, and all of a sudden here comes Kyle Busch at the very end, and then, it was even bugging the hell out of me that I keep seeing them stay out on the racetrack and not come down pit road. I mean, I'm just like, why are you not pitting? And then, what happens? Got passed on the restart, and then fell back a few more positions, ended up finishing 6th when you could have had a possible win. And after the race, Martin Truex Jr. said on his interview that, Truex wanted to stay out, but at the very last second, Cole Pearn, who is Martin Truex Jr.'s crew chief, told him to come down pit road. However, Truex was very close to the commitment cone. Truex didn't want to hit the commitment cone, so he went back out on the racetrack. That's exactly what Truex said on his interview. So just miscommunication. I would have came down pit road. I really would have. I mean, I know you don't want to lose the race lead, but when Truex stayed out, look how many cars came down pit road behind him. I knew he was in trouble from then on. So, whatever, it is what it is. So, Kyle Busch gets the win at Texas Motor Speedway. Hit back-to-back Sprint Cup victories. Back-to-back sweeps. Like I say, he swept at Martinsville, and he swept this weekend at Texas Motor Speedway after winning the Xfinity race on Friday night. Came the next night, finished, won the race. And this was Kyle Busch's 4th straight NASCAR win. Like I say, he won the Trucks and Sprint Cup last weekend at Martinsville Speedway, then won the Xfinity and Sprint Cup this weekend at Texas Motor Speedway. So Kyle Busch gets the broom again. He gets the cowboy hats and the 6-shooters. Gets all that stuff in victory lane. So, congratulations to Kyle Busch getting his 2nd win of the season in the Sprint Cup Series. Back-to-back Sprint Cup wins. And now it's on to Bristol Motor Speedway, which that should be a good race. Bristol Motor Speedway should be a good race. The world's fastest half mile. Bristol, Tennessee, for the Food City 500. Should be a good race. I'm looking forward to this Bristol race. I like Bristol. It's a fun track. Hopefully it don't rain there again, because last couple years in the Bristol spring races, it's rained there to delay the start of the race, and then all of a sudden they have to turn it into a night race. Let's see what happens this time. But I believe that's about it. That's all I got to talk about. So congratulations to Kyle Busch on getting the win at Texas Motor Speedway. Now it's on to the world's fastest half mile at Bristol Motor Speedway, and hope if I have to give a scale rating from 1 to 10 on the Texas race, I give it a 5. I mean, honestly, the race was kind of boring. I mean, just seemed like there was not a lot of passing going on, even with the lower downforce. At least not a lot of passing in the top 10, I will say. And then, of course, there's a few debris cautions. There's just nothing except for a couple of wrecks. And then, I'm not putting it from a scale from 1 to 10, a 5, because Kyle Busch winning, but that's just how I feel about the race. So anyway, that was the Texas review. Next weekend is at Bristol Motor Speedway for the Food Safe 500 at Bristol Motor Speedway. World's fastest half mile. And then I'll review that race after the Bristol race. So that's it. I'm Joseph Lombard, aka N2SC4R. And I will see you next week on the Bristol Review.